book friends, welcome back to my channel, The Book Judge. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I will be honest and share with you that my channel is mostly for homeschoolers, those who are considering homeschooling, those who have put their kids in private school, those grandparents and moms and dads and aunts and uncles who care about what the children in their life are reading, and just general good books that you would like to know are worth reading before you spend the money on buying them. Here at The Book Judge, we're about building our own library. I don't know if you've been to the public library lately in your city, but mine, I'm never going back. It's dangerous. Police were escorting somebody out. The last time I took my children there, they were invited to go play a Steinway piano. We played and we left, and we were concerned about our safety. Our little local library is dark, and the material that's in there would never be read by my kids. It would just never be okay. Rated R, rated X. So we are all about building our own legacy, building our own library, and we want to pass these books on to the people we care about, whether it's nieces, nephews, our own children, our grandchildren. We want to build our own library. We want to build a legacy of learning. All of my years of college really didn't prepare me for what I'm doing now. So I would say get your own education from a book, go after it, and learn everything you can. And today we're talking about something really important. It's pollinators. I'm not talking about hummingbirds or butterflies. We're talking about the bee. The first book I have for you is the Bee Book. This is by DK Publishing. I am not a huge DK Publishing fan. While they have great pictures and they have some really interesting writing, I don't like how they date things. So one of the first things you're going to read about in this book is that 25 million years ago, evolution produced the bee, and the bee as we know it today evolved. I'd like to know where they got that 25 million number. Sometimes I think the higher those who believe in the theory of evolution choose, the higher ratings they get on their books. I'm a Christian, so I find that dating to be completely bogus. Based on biblical accounts, which use actual dates and time and days and seasons, we know that the world could be around 6,000 to 8,000 years old. 25 million years is needed by those who believe in evolution. Your theory is still a theory. It hasn't been proven. The theory of evolution cannot hold up under science. Nothing can't produce anything. In other words, something can't come from nothing. So there had to be a start, and that points to a creator, which is God. So if already I've lost you, that's okay. This is not the channel for you, or if you're curious, it might be. But let's get started on the Bee Book. Right away, I don't agree with the 25 million year evolutionary date for the bee, but I did like the cover. I thought this was an interesting way to engage readers who might not normally pick up this book. We get started with all kinds of bees listed on every page and what nations bees fly to and what kind of pollinators they are. We see which flowers to plant to attract bees to our gardens. And we know that the bee population is dwindling in America. We do need to do our part if we can by having gardens and flowers and things that attract bees. Bees are not scary. They are not something to be afraid of. The honeybee is necessary. And here in Tennessee, I don't know if it's mountain lore or if it's Native American tradition, but because we have so many types of flora and fauna, we are often told to go buy local honey to help us get over our allergies in the spring. So we do go buy local honey. Bee farming is becoming a huge thing, and my family and I are always talking about land, and we're in a place in our life where we may actually do that. And if that happens, yours truly, who has to carry an EpiPen for bug bites, is thinking about beekeeping, so I picked up these books. One of the things I love is it talks about the honeycomb, how to care for the bees. It talks about bee swarming. It shows the different kinds of homes that can be built for bees that would work best for you. In the back, there's recipes for beeswax, bees butter, bee candles. It's just a really great book. Look at this giant book, Bees, A Hunting History. Like, this book is big. I have big hair and it's bigger than my hair. We have the backside of the bees. And what's so super cute, let me show you the inside cover here. See that? So this kind of theme is carried all the way through the book. This book states that bees were discovered 100 million years ago. There's the dinosaur to prove, that we absolutely must use the theory of evolution to explain bees, which I never understand. But Beyond the fact that I totally disagree with the date, I do believe bees were around from the beginning, because we know that God put Adam and Eve in the garden, and he would have planned for things to be pollinated so that they could be fruitful and multiply. Bees are a part of that process. This book does the same thing that the first book I showed you did in a much smaller way. I love this book. It's funny. It shows Alexander the Great in here. We know that he died when he was 32, and to be transported home, they preserved his body in a barrel of honey, if you did not know that fact. There are some things about Sherlock Holmes and honey with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote that series, and there's just some great artwork. Here's some pictures just of bees. I think this is showing a Catholic saint who worked with bees. Beekeeping was often associated with monks during a certain period of time. It's several pages thick. It's full of recipes. It shows you here the kind of hive most people like to keep, so they can check on each honeycomb individually and to check on the health of the bee. The health of the bee is important. Sometimes locating the queen bee right away is important. One of my favorite pages, and I can't get it all into the camera, is all the different kinds of bee houses there are. And in the other book I showed you, you can build them from pellets. You can build them from clay pots, like terracotta pot. You can build them with your log pile. This page shows how cities are actually keeping bees on top of the roofs in big cities where we need pollinators, and they're disappearing because we're filling everything up with concrete and buildings. I don't know if you're aware of this. I did not know this until I read my 2 beekeeping books. China actually has to hire people to hand pollinate their flowers, their fruits, to grow apples and strawberries, because they don't have enough bee pollinators. We hear people talk about the bee crisis. I never really listened to it, but apparently it really is a thing. These books go into great detail what separates a bee from a wasp or a hornet. I really enjoy these books, and I did not expect to. I mostly bought them because I have 1 out of 3 children who is terrified of things that fly and buzz. And I am so glad I bought these. They're on sale right now at Amazon. I did not check the price at Walmart, but again, grab this one. And if you really want to go into beekeeping, grab this for yourself or a college kid or an adult. This is literally from front to back. You could learn to be a beekeeper from this book. And that's saying a lot for my opinion of DK Publishing. Not a fan, but this book really answers a lot of questions. And this book is how to get your kids interested. So this book gets the whole family involved. And then if it's just you and maybe a friend or a spouse or a relative that wants to get involved, grab this book. So today, the buzz is all about bees. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll share it with others. And I hope you'll plant some flowers and trees that draw bees to your area so that everything can be pollinated and beautiful this spring. Take care, and thanks for joining, friends. We'll see you next time on my channel. Goodbye.